we're going to talk about feelings, and not our feelings, but our husband's feelings. Yes, it's true. Our husbands have feelings and they're allowed to feel. They're allowed to feel anger and sadness and disappointment, and they should be able to share that with us. So let's just dive in and go, because we're going to keep it quick and I want you to be able to reach out. But here we go. The last few months, my husband and I have been working on sharing with each other how we feel. Now, for me, that's pretty easy, because the last 16 years from the first time we met, I have been very open about my feelings. And, as far as men go and with their sharing, it's not as common to openly share. Now, he would share some things with me, but it wasn't that being vulnerable and expressing emotion, especially when it involved me. And so over time, I would spill my guts and I would say all the different things that were hurting my feelings, family, work, whatever it might be, that I would feel anger and I'd feel sadness and disappointment and I'd be crying or not, and I just have these feelings. And he was awesome, is awesome about listening and taking that in and being receptive. Here's the kicker. Whenever he would express something that bothered him, I would be on the defense, especially if it involved me. He would share something that was bothering him, or we'd made an agreement and he felt like I wasn't supporting it, and I would be bothered by him sharing that with me, and I would defend myself, and I would debunk his moment of sharing with me, which as a society, we don't encourage men to be vulnerable and share their feelings, and that they're not supposed to, right? They just have to be tough. And that's not the case. I've been so selfish in that time, and I know that it created an issue where he didn't want to share, because he was afraid of how I was going to react. He didn't want me to feel sad. He didn't want me to be angry. So he would just filter and not say things subconsciously because of my history of how I would respond. And so the last few months, we have been working on that sharing piece. And it's interesting for me to be aware of how I hadn't been supporting him in that way. That as a relationship, we have to be able to both support each other with that. And when he has needs and feelings, I need to support him with that. Just hold him, or, give him a hug, and just maybe pause for a moment before responding and put myself in his perspective. Why would this make him feel this way? If I was him, would this upset me as well? And it's pretty crazy is that when I do that, I'm shocked and go, oh my gosh, I totally would be upset. I would be through the roof and I would not let go. I would just spewed it out. But for him, it's not a normal thing. He was raised to not be vulnerable. He's the protector. He's the provider. He's the guy. He's the male. And so I just want to share with you that if you could just take a moment and thank your husband for the hard work that he does. Thank your husband for his support. And start to support him when he expresses something. Start with the little things. When he shares something that kind of bothers him, don't defend yourself right away, but listen to him and think about, okay, I could do better. I will work better. I'm improving with how I handle money. It was just something I didn't grow up with knowing a lot about. And so I'm changing some philosophies, and I want to support us. I know there's a lot of discussions about money between husbands and wives, and they don't see eye to eye, but please try to put yourself in their position and how it makes them feel. They have this boulder on their shoulders, like Atlas, of being your provider and your protector, where they have to go to work and bring in this money, spend time away from home. They don't get to do the fun things like the zoo and play dates and picnics and just playtime. And I know being a mom is hard. I know it is. Just also remember what they do is exhausting too. And when they express something, it is not defeating you and you as a mother and the things that you do. It's just they have feelings too. It is hard to be a provider when they don't enjoy their job, or they're tired and they want to be with you. Maybe you guys aren't where you want to be financially and you're working on that. Be supportive to that. They're working on it with you. Let them feel. Give them a shout out. I shout out to my husband, who's so amazing, and I love him dearly, and that we are willing to grow together and be vulnerable and to listen to one another. You can do the same. Be a strong entity for your family. Listen to each other and allow him to feel. Love you guys. Have a great Monday. Bye.